Pam Dyson. I'm the founder and the director of the St. Louis Center for Play Therapy Training. I have a play therapy tip that I would like to share with you. In my practice, I see a lot of children who are struggling with loss, whether that be the loss of a family as they've known it, perhaps through separation and or divorce, or perhaps they've actually lost someone who is significantly close to them through death. And some of the techniques that I like to use are really easy. You don't need a lot of supplies. You need some paper and some Band-Aids and a gingerbread shaped cookie cutter. And so the first thing I would do is you could trace this yourself if you have young children that you're working with, or if they're an older child, they could do it themselves, is to take a marker and trace around the cookie cutter on a piece of paper so they have an outline of a person. And they can pretend that this person is them, and they can talk about when that person, say, died, how did they feel? And usually the first thing that they will share is that they felt sad. So I would like to try to gauge the intensity of their sadness, so I will give them Band-Aids. And I have different sizes of Band-Aids. I love it when I can find an affordable box of Band-Aids. These cost $1 at the dollar store, and there's lots of different sizes in it. So that way the child can help me understand better the depth of their sadness. So I would ask them to select Band-Aids and open them up. And you know, kids love to use Band-Aids, and at home they're always told not to use them. So it's a wonderful little affordable item to have in your play therapy toolbox. And then I would ask them to put Band-Aids on the outline of their body that would tell me where they felt the sadness inside their body. And a lot of children will say, well, I felt it in my heart. And so they might put a really large Band-Aid right there. They might also say that, you know, I felt so sad that my head hurt. And they might select some little smaller bandages and put them in different places on other parts of the body. Like I said, maybe perhaps on the head if they were having headaches and things like that. So they can use as many Band-Aids as they want. There's no limit, and it really does help me find out where they're actually at in that grieving process in regards to being sad about the loss. You could do the same thing with divorce. If their parents split up, they could use Band-Aids to show where that sadness felt in their body. Another thing to do if you don't have a cookie cutter person shape that you could use is to give the child a heart and have them take a scissors, or they could just rip it to represent what it feels like when they're sad about the person who died, or about maybe the family that broke up. A lot of children might say that it felt like their heart was breaking, and how many pieces did it break into, and what did it feel like? And then they can put the heart back together again using Band-Aids. Band-Aids can certainly be talked about in this respect as being very healing and helping to make things feel better again. And so they can use different sizes of Band-Aids, and much like you would use tape to tape that heart back together again. So let me get one more out here so I can show you what it looks like. It's also a great way to measure frustration tolerance on sometimes getting some of these Band-Aids out of their packages. So this could represent how their heart is healing, and we could talk about, well, what things help you feel like your heart is no longer broken. And it might mean that they have significant people in their world who listen to them, who spend time with them. It might mean that coming to therapy maybe is helpful to them, and it helps them heal their heart. And it also is a great way to help them understand that when our heart breaks, it may never be exactly the same way again, but there are things that we can do, coping skills, that we can teach a child to help them understand that over time their heart will be healed. It won't ever be the same after that loss that they experience, but that it can feel whole again, and then they can still be happy, and they can move on with their life. So see what you have laying around in your play therapy closet. Maybe you have some bandages, an outline of a cookie cutter, and a heart, and incorporate this approach to helping children deal with the loss in divorce or the loss of death.